Hey everybody, wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hope you enjoyed whatever holiday it is that you celebrate beyond those as well. I want to do a 2021 poker recap as well as a 2022 poker goals episode here. So a little atypical compared to the usual poker sessions that I present here, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over where I started, my progress to date, and where I'm trying to go for those of you who follow along. So just to kind of recap 2021, I started playing in July 3rd to be exact, of this past year. So really 6 months of play, a little less than 6 months of play. And for those of you that haven't watched from the beginning, I actually played poker back in the mid to late 2000s. I played pretty seriously at the time, but I kind of took essentially like a 12-year hiatus. I maybe played, I can count on one hand how many times I played in the past 12 years before getting back into it. I'm in Texas, and I found out that there's card rooms in the area from watching other poker vlogs. That's where I saw, I think it was Brad Owen playing at Texas Card House, which let me know that there were card rooms in the area. And that's what kind of got me back into the game. And I needed a hobby anyway, so I was like, I'm going to play some poker and I'm going to make some vlogs. So that's what I started doing. So since I started playing in July, I've played 49 cash sessions. 46 out of those 49 were at 1-2, and the other 3 were just at 1-3. So I got in about 2 sessions per week. I played in 4 tournaments. 3 of them were free rolls. You pay, when I say free roll in Texas, you pay for the seat. So it was really like a $30 buy-in, and you can rebuy for $30. So I think in the first one I bought in 3 times. The second 2 I bought in twice each. Didn't have any cashes. And then the other tournament, if I remember correctly, was like a $260 tournament, I think, and didn't cash in that as well. So no cashes in tournaments, but have won overall in the cash sessions. So I started with $320, took that out of the bank, and even though I took out $320 as my initial bankroll, I only ever sat down with an original, I think it was 160 is what I bought in for at my first session, and didn't need to rebuy. So I had a kind of a good run initially where I kind of built up my bankroll at the beginning and didn't have to like take any more money out from the bank, which is nice. So I started from that 320 and built that up to 10,612 is where I'm at today in terms of the bankroll. So that's after expenses, and it's also after I had withdrawn $400 from the bankroll. So early on, after I just started vlogging, I won like about 3K early, and then I had some pretty bad sessions and hit some rough waters and bad play and variance and lost a few sessions in a row. And I was kind of like, well, I don't want to lose it all. I'm going to take $400 out. I'm going to buy an Xbox and like at least say that I've gotten something out of these wins, which is what I did. So really, if I hadn't taken that $400 out, my bankroll would have been a little over 11K. So I'm at 10.6K from that initial 320 because I took that out. So I want to dive in a little bit into the actual poker stats. So I've got my phone here. So I'm going to pull up Poker Base here. And if you haven't used Poker Base, I highly recommend it. It's really great for tracking live sessions. It's got some really nice analytics in it. So I've got that pulled up here, and I kind of want to go through the statistics today. So we're going to take a look at the analytics tab here, and you can see I have 53 total sessions. That includes both the cash and the tournaments. So I told you earlier I had 49 cash and 4 tournaments, so 53 in all. Total profit of it says 10,692 here. So that does not account for the 400 that I took out. I think for the Xbox as well as the accounting for like my initial bankroll. So that's the total profit that I've had. Profit per hour of $66 about. Profit per session is a little over 200, which is really nice. And average ROI is 93%. So almost doubling up every session on average, which is really great. I generally play for about 3 hours a session, and I've played in all 161 hours, almost 162. So profitable, let's see, more than half the time. And I'd like to get into this a little bit in just a second here, but I want to kind of break it down and show some of the graphs first before we go a little bit further. So you can kind of see the chart here. I mentioned I had the early wins in that like 1-3K right away, and then hit some rough waters. And you can see where the chart kind of dips there, and it's pretty stagnant for it's like 30 sessions in a row. And that was August, September, and October, where I essentially didn't really have much in terms of winning. And we'll see the breakdown by month in a second here, where you can see that. And then I have a huge climb at the end there in the last, it's like 15 sessions in a row where I mostly won. So let's go back and kind of break this down a little bit further. So you can see here we break it down by venue. I played initially a lot at Texas Card House and then ended up switching over to the Lodge. And in all, I've won more per hour and more total at the Lodge. And if we scroll one more screen here, actually, let me skip back to this. Let's see here. We'll scroll two more screens. I want to break it down by month first. So if we look at the beginning, you see July won almost 3K. August, September, October were pretty small wins. It was relatively, I should say, there were wins, but they were small relative to that initial win. So $326, $45, and $31 profit for those 3 months relative. Those were, I came to find and feel like a lot of the losses that I was having was related to variance and also bad play by me, but significantly from the PLO bomb pots that I was playing, which has a lot more variance in them. So I decided I just wanted to focus on just playing Texas Hold'em specifically. So that's kind of why I switched over to playing more at the Lodge. I didn't want to play in the bomb pots, and they don't do the bomb pots at 1-2. So I did that starting on November 10th. And if you look at my November and December stats, you can see that it was pretty much continuously uphill climb in terms of my, wins overall and the amount that I profited for in those months. So 3.1K in November and 3.8K in December, and averaging over $100 an hour for both of those months, which is pretty significant. And you can see the chart breakdown here at the bottom, where you can see I've won in July initially and then won big in November and December as well, but the other 3 months were pretty stagnant. So let's jump back. Whoops, dropped my phone here. Jump back. And I also just want to show here, I mostly played 1-2 and then the 1-2 with bomb pots and a little bit of 1-3. You can kind of see the breakdown by game type if you're interested in looking at that. I won't go too much into that here, but feel free to pause and take a look if you're curious. So I think that's mostly it for this. And then they got the breakdown by day of the week. Nothing too exciting to look at here. I just kind of go when I have the time. So I don't know if it's worth digging into that. The other thing I do want to call out. So I mentioned that I had stops going and playing in those bomb pots hands. So I want to kind of focus on. Oops, not type. I want to look at after November of November the 10th. That's kind of was when I stopped doing the bomb pots. So looking at just how I did after that, you can see the stats actually jumped pretty significantly. My profit per hour jumped to 143. Profit per session jumped to 506. It was at about 200 before that. Now it's at 500. Just focusing on the Hold'em. ROI jumped from about, I think it was 92% to 157%. So and my profitable sessions went from 52% to 68%. So things have been much better, and you can see just looking at the chart here, when I just did Hold'em, it went from 0 to 8K, which is pretty incredible. So I think I'm just going to kind of focus on Hold'em for now. And we'll talk a little bit more about the goals in a second here, but I wanted to share those stats first. So that's mainly it that I wanted to look at in terms of the stats on my phone here. The other thing I want to share is just some of my interesting biggest wins, biggest losses. My biggest win was this is in terms of the session, what I started with versus what I cashed out. I had a $2,123 win at 1-2 no limit. Bought in for $200 and cashed out for $2,381. So that was pretty exciting and pretty significant. The biggest pot that I won was at 1-3 no limit, and that was for $2,228, I believe it was. So that was pretty significant as well. It was an exciting pot. If you haven't watched that, I've got one of the YouTube shorts that you can go back and watch just for that hand. And then my biggest losing session was a $678 loss. So my losses have been, even though they've been for a few buy-ins, nothing bigger than that, and relative to the size of some of my wins have been much smaller. So that's a good thing as well. I also want to do a 2021 poker vlog recap. So not just focusing on my poker, but my poker vlog too. So I mentioned I started poker on, I think it was July 3rd. Well, I started the vlog on July 25th. That's when I put out my first episode. Since I started, I've gotten 22 episodes out for the second half of the year. So that is on average one episode per week. I've gotten out 5 short form videos, so that's YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels. I haven't consistently put all of the videos on all of those different mediums, so that's something I still need to go back and do, and we'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to the goals. The other interesting stats, I went from 0 to 663 subscribers at end of year and 3,800 watch hours. So in order to monetize a YouTube channel, if that's something that any of you are interested in knowing the details about, I know I've gotten comments about, hey, I just realized I was watching your vlog and you made a bunch of money. I got sucked into it and you made money. Well, I'm not making money from the vlog, at least not right now, and I don't know if I ever will, but there's certain things that you've got to have before YouTube will let you become part of their partner program and make money from a vlog. You've got to have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm only at 663, and you've got to have over 4,000 watch hours, and we're pretty close. We've got 3,800 right now for that. So those are the big 2 things that you've got to hit to be able to monetize a vlog. Or a YouTube channel, I should say. And then the other thing I just wanted to share for the vlog is a couple of interesting stats. So the longest video is the most recent one I put out. That was the episode 22 of the vlog, and that was 30 minutes, 26 seconds. The shortest video was only 9 minutes and 54 seconds. I know some of you have mentioned that you like the longer versions, so I'm going to work on trying to make them longer. The most liked video had 173 likes. The most viewed video had 4,796 views, so almost 4,800. And the most comments I've received on one of my videos is 54. So not much compared to some of the big channels, but very exciting, starting from nothing and having, just a few likes, just a few views, maybe not even any comments on the video, to having some big numbers like that. It feels like a huge growth. And I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch the channel and leaving comments, leaving likes. I like to hear from you guys and communicate with you guys and kind of like be a little part of the community here, which is fun for me anyway. I hope you guys enjoy it. In terms of the goals now, so I mentioned that we hit the 10K bankroll goal in 2021. For 2022, I'd like to get to 25,000. So that means I would have to get $15,000 worth of winnings between now and the end of the new year. So on average, that'd be about $480 per week. I've had others suggest a more lofty goals. I think it was Doug McCusker. He's another great vlogger. He was saying, hey, 30,000 for next year. But my schedule's a little bit tight. My wife's in school, and that's kind of our priority right now. So that takes precedence over some of the fun poker stuff for me. And I definitely support her in that goal. So I'm going to try to play once a week if I can on average. And it's just going to have to vary based upon when the time is available. But winning 480 a week, if I could play once a session, that's 480 a session on average. I think that's realistically doable on average over the course of the year. Obviously it's not going to be a win every time. It's not going to be a loss every time. But on average, if I can win $480 a session, 480 a week, we're going to go for it. I want to take a stab at playing 2-5 no limit. So I've mentioned I've primarily been playing 1-2. I've taken a few shots at 1-3, which were fun. And I'm excited and also nervous to play in 2-5. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I generally buy into 1-2 for $300, which is 150 big blinds. The equivalent of 150 big blinds at 2-5 would be $750. That's probably less than what the other players in 2-5 are playing for, but it's what I'm comfortable giving it a shot for. So I'm going to buy in for $750 probably whenever I go ahead and try that. I'm going to try to do it hopefully my next session. We'll see how I'm feeling. I want to go into it, with feeling cognizant, feeling like I've got the energy for it. So, I'm going to kind of play it by ear and see how I feel going into the poker room. But I'd like to play it at my next session if I can, and that'll definitely be on the vlog. And once I kind of get my feet wet with 2-5, play it probably more than once, probably a few times, I'd like to get into one of the live streams. So the Lodge has a really great live stream. Texas Card House has a really great live stream. And I did have Texas Card House to reach out to me a little bit back that, they wanted to see if I'd be interested in playing in a 1-3 stream. I don't think it ever happened. So I didn't hear any follow-up from them. But I would like to get on the live stream just to give it a shot. I think it'd be a fun thing to do, something a little bit different. And then, I see some of the other bloggers, they do their commentary after the fact on top of the live stream. And I think that'd be fun to do if that opportunity arises. So I'm going to try to make that happen. And then the last thing that I want to call out is I'd like to try to cash in a tournament. So I'm probably just going to stick to mostly the free rolls that are offered for now whenever I get a chance to go play in those. They're pretty soft tournaments, I'll say. You obviously got to kind of run good to make it deep enough in a tournament. I did do the free roll recently, and I got think it was 27th out of 79 players. So it was the final 3 tables. And I just lost a very important hand where somebody, I think, like rivered a flush on me, if I remember correctly. Or I missed my flush or something along those lines. But in any case, just didn't work out in that particular tournament on a clutch hand. And I think it's doable, though. The final table essentially paid in that one. So if I had gotten to the final table instead of the final 3, then I would have been in the money. So something to strive for in this coming year, or in this year, I should say. We are in the new year. And then in terms of the poker vlog goals, I've got one that's kind of a non-concrete goal, and that's to hit 1,000 subscribers. So I mentioned that you've got to have 1,000 subscribers to monetize. Obviously, I can't. That's not like a objective that I can say, okay, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go get 1,000 subscribers. It's a side effect of the actual concrete goals that I can set in place. So in terms of the concrete goals, what I want to do is I want to continue to publish 1 episode per week. I want that to be like a specific goal. It's not something that I initially set out to do when I started the vlog, but I want to make that be something that I'm consistent about for sure. So 1 episode a week, and I would like to make sure that they're each 20 to 30 minutes in length. So I know I mentioned that my shortest one this past year was a little under 9 minutes. I want them to be a little bit more fulfilling. For those of you, I've gotten some feedback that you like the longer ones, so I want to make sure they're full of content and rich content, things that are exciting and fun to watch. I don't want to throw a bunch of filler in there if it's not necessary, but the more the merrier, obviously, for your enjoyment. So I want to strive for that. And then I also want to try to publish. I mentioned that I have 5 short form videos that I got out for TikTok and such. I'd like to do one of those a week as well if I can. I'm not going to make that like a hard and fast goal for me. It really kind of depends on the amount of time I have. So if I could do like 1 a month, I'll be happy with it. But ideally one a week. So I know some of you probably don't care about watching those short form videos, and that's totally fine. I'm not offended if you don't like those or if you don't want to watch those. But I know there are a lot of people that like to watch those on their phones, and it's also kind of important from somewhat of like a marketing perspective so that people can find me through other means. The same way that I post photos of my chip stacks to Instagram and things. If you don't follow Instagram, I'm always doing that as I'm in the middle of a session. So just kind of sharing through other mechanisms that other people follow as well. I would like to attend a meetup game. I think that'd be something that's fun to do. There were a couple of meetup games that came through here this past year. I just unfortunately couldn't make it out to them because of conflicts. And then I also just got the date wrong on one of them. Brad Owen was here last year to go to TCH in Austin, and I accidentally went the second day that he was in town, where he was on the live stream and it wasn't the meetup game, and I just had the dates confused. So I missed that one. I wasn't feeling well when Rampage and Mariano were in town. And there were some other vloggers that came into town too that I just couldn't make it out to. So I would like to make it to a meetup game. I think that'd be fun. Not trying to host my own or anything like that. I did have 1 or 2 people reach out to me about hosting one. I'm going to try to get some followers first. If there ends up being like a group vlogger game or something like that, I'd be happy to be in it, but I'm not trying to host my own for any reason. I'm just a recreational small stakes player, and I don't think that would get much attendance, to be perfectly honest. But I do appreciate all the vlog watchers that I have, and I hope you keep watching them. And I also would like to try out some other poker rooms in Texas. So a lot of my vlogs are in the Lodge. A lot of my older ones are in Texas Card House. I think it would make help to keep the vlog fresh if I could get some, just different poker rooms in there, photos of different chips. It's always interesting to see like the different variety of chips that are out there. I think it adds something like, okay, have I seen this video or not? The chips look the same on the thumbnail. Like it's the same one I've seen before, right? Or is it not? Because I'm always at the same card room. So being able to visit other card rooms, I think will help to maybe freshen things up and keep it interesting. So I'd like to do that too. So that's I think that about covers everything that I'm looking for in the new year, both in terms of poker and my poker vlog. I'm curious to hear what y'all think in terms of those goals. Do you think it's achievable? Do you think it's not? Especially for things like the bankroll goal, trying to get from 10K to 25K. What do you think about that? And before we go, I just want to share some fun things that I got for Christmas from my family. So first, I got this sweet Uncle Mommy shirt, his poker shirt. So Uncle Mommy is what my niece calls me, and it's just a name that came up a couple years ago when we were on vacation, and it stuck. So I will definitely wear that shirt to the card room. I also got from my my brother and his wife. I won't bring the whole set over, but some really nice chips. So you say Bluff Canyon Casino on here. I'll hold up the $1,000 chip. Hopefully it'll focus on that. I'm not sure that it is. Give it a second here. Nope. All right. Well, I'll just hold these up here. Maybe it'll focus if I do the whole stack. So you can kind of see that there, but it's got the 1 chips, the 5 chips, the 25, the 100, and then it's got 500 and 1,000. And there's obviously more of the smaller denominations than the bigger ones. I've got a whole set of them over there. I just brought over one rack to kind of show those off. So that's really exciting. I'll have to try to get a home game together or something like that. And then for my wife, I got a new chip protector. She knows I like Back to the Future, and she got this Back to the Future DeLorean card protector. So it says, I don't know if you can read it, it says Back to Poker instead of Back to the Future. It's got the DeLorean on it. So I think that's pretty cool, and I'm excited about that. I used it the last session I went to, which I didn't record, but it was nice to have something a little bit more personalized. So yeah, that's all I got for this one. I will try to get the next vlog out as soon as I can. Let me know what you guys are doing for the new year too. What are your goals for the year? I'm curious to hear, what kind of stakes you guys play. If you're shooting for certain bankroll goals, or like just playing often or less often or what have you. Let me know in the comments. I want to know what you guys are up to as well. And otherwise, see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.